Alright, so this is video number 18 using an LCD display. So, let's start off by showing you our LCD screen here. And so we got first down is going to be ground. Then we have 3.3 volts power, which is being supplied through there. And then we have the LCD operation voltage test pin, which is being connected to our potentiometer, which allows us to dim the screen, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that. And then we have fourth down is data and control register select, and that is connected to number 12 over here. And then we have the fifth one down, which is going to be the brown cable that goes to ground, and that is the right signal input active. And the next one is the start signal for reading and writing data, which is connected to number 11, which is this wire right here. It's connected over here. Next we have our data bus bits, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which are all these guys right here. And those are connected from 5 through 12. As well, we have our green LED, which is connected to number 6 over here, and is connected to ground through this blue cable. Usually you use brown or green cables for ground, but there are no short brown cables for there. And also we have our backlight positive, which is this red guy right here connected to 3.3 volts, and then our backlight negative, which is the brown one. And we also have our piezo buzzer, which is connected to ground through this black wire, and through the white wire is connected to number 9. And our potentiometer is also connected to ground. As well, it's connected to 3.3 volts. Alright, so here's the fun part where I show you how it works. So you'll see these little boxes, and there's 16 across, and you can use 2 rows, but I'm only using 1. And so you can see the piezos going off. What my code does is it prints out the happy birthday song, and it plays it to an extent, the happy birthday song. It's really slow because you can only move the text so fast before it gets really blurry. You can see it leaves kind of like a residue of the letter before it. And you can kind of look at it at an angle like this, but it leaves like a little letter, afterwards. You can use the potentiometer to change how much of the box you see behind it, or how dark or bright it gets. And you can see it ended right there. There's no more letters, and the piezo is stopped. As well, every time a sound goes off, I've added a green light, which is also good for troubleshooting in case a wire is unplugged or something. So, if the green light's going off and there's no sound, then there's something wrong with the wiring in the piezo or something like that. Here's also the serial monitor display. Every time the green light goes on, which is every time there's a sound that's made, it just turns the green light on, and we can see that in the display. Now to the code section. It took me a while to think of a way to incorporate the happy birthday song to an extent to which it matched the words, because at first, I made it so it played the whole song, but I couldn't put it in the same exact loop as the letters, because then the song would go way too fast, and the letters would go way faster than the actual song. So here we just set up we set up the piezo and the LED. We set up our notes here, which we use to get the frequencies of the piezo. Here's the beats. It just makes a delay. We multiply it by the tempo, and it just makes a delay for the sound in between notes. Here's our liquid crystal. We use the liquid crystal class, and 12, 11, 5, 4, 3. That's just the pins we're using for the LCD screen. Here's the song "Happy Birthday to You, Happy Birthday to You" that we're using to print on the screen. Here we begin our serial monitor. We begin our LCD screen as well as we clear it from the previous message that was on there. And we use this auto scroll command. It's actually a really good command. It's not like to left or to right, it's just auto scroll. So we'll just scroll automatically through after every letter. We'll push the letter to the left one of the letter before it. It sets the cursor to 16, which is the 16th letter, kinda. It's the 16th interval in between letters. Then we set the outputs for our LED and our piezo. Duration, we make this so we can use a duration for how long the notes go for. Count 0 and number letter 0. I'll get to that in just a second. So I've made, the Happy Birthday song is 4 parts. It says happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to someone, happy birthday to you. So I created 4 different loops for each part just so the song kind of lines up to it way better. So what happens is the LCD print, it prints song I, which remember our song is happy birthday. So it will print the letter H to start. Green LED will be off. It'll print that. Then it'll delay 500 milliseconds, which is half second. Then we just have this if statement, which every 1.5 seconds it will enter this. It just makes timing for the song a lot better for the piezo. And so we have number letter just so we can navigate. We use a different variable so we can navigate through these notes without using the same one we're using to navigate through this, because they're going to be completely different numbers, and we don't want that. It'll be jumping around the whole entire song. So it's really just the same thing with a different part of the song here. We digital write the green LED on high, which means it goes on. If it enters this loop, it makes the frequency sound. Here's the tone command that makes that sound. And also it enters the frequency method, which we have all the way down here, which you put in a note, which is one of these guys, the letters. Then you pull the frequency from it, you pluck it out, return it, and then you get that sound into the tone command, and it makes that sound on the piezo. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.